excuse this mess on top of my head. This is one of my, when I'm supposed to be cleaning up the house, wigs, and I don't want to wear my synthetic wig and get it messed up. But I had to, my synthetic wig is so busted, I just picked it. I don't know, it's just easier to wear this one. So I pulled it out the drawer and put it on my head so I can go get something to eat. Anyway. I'm picking up on like these people. It's almost like some people from underneath an empire. Like, it's like a child is born something. These people is under the empire, but they start mingling. Like, say this is a queen or a princess, her prince or whatever, or her king is out there messing around with people. He end up running across some witches or something. He ended up messing with these witches. And because he knows that, or this could be a family unit, it's something, y'all, that this person, and that's why I just keep going back to this Holy Spirit energy. Because if you read about the Holy Spirit, it's like, I could see why so many things happen around this person and they didn't even catch wind of it. Or like a world card energy, so many things happen around somebody, they don't know what really, you know, they don't see them things. Why it's so horrible to do something to that person. It's not like they're not a powerful being. It's not like they're not relevant. It's not like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the audacity. So that's what I'm getting. It's almost like also somebody is behind or something like this a little bit, or not really. Maybe you're right where you're supposed to be, or, but they're trying to use this as a means of, there's somebody here that don't get it. Something, an energy, an entity, something. It could be something that somebody else was worshiping. It's like God is like, this is my precious child, and hold the baby up like Simba. And then people like, we just gonna use this child for this. I like this person better. I'm gonna just take off from this person's gifts and their abundance and their creativity and everything, and I'm just gonna spread it around a whole bunch of people and bless them like I'm God, and then I'm gonna be the master and everybody gonna like me. And they're gonna know how important it is to never tell this person that this has occurred. And so this person start having babies with other people or something like this, and these are witches or something, and then they start doing spell work on the main female. Excuse me. Or because the family knows that these treasonous acts were done behind the scenes in the kingdom, the queen was not aware of it, or the princess wasn't aware of it, and this person passed away, and they dispersed just because of it, just because they could. They dispersed all the riches between all of the concubines, and then basically didn't allow the main female or the queen, however low you want to go, main female, queen, empress, whatever. But then this person get trapped up, like the sealed portion talks about this, get trapped up with all the other concubines or harlots or just regular women or cows or cattle or something, because they haven't had status in the public eye, or they haven't had status behind the scenes. They haven't been in rooms that they should have been in. Somebody else could have been there, or this person just wasn't there. They just said, this is a man's world, we don't need the female here. The woman can't talk in the courtroom, or the woman can't talk in a meeting, or in this church or this gathering. But I told y'all what that was for our ancestors here in America, with the whole not talking in church and women's rights. They were trying to keep foreigners from coming in here and taking over, because the Bible, Deuteronomy 28, is talking about this. You have to look at it through the test of time. to not let certain people into something. This could be the government. This could be law. This could be something. Because they will take it over. And then now they could probably just use this against us in any old kind of way, shape, fashion, or form. This could be a warning about the FISA court. FISA, whatever it's called. It's a foreign intelligence something court. Social something court, okay? But it's kind of like there's a false narrative here that been able to get away with centuries. That's why we have so many people that are different or transgender or something like this. That if you're found in a certain situation, or if you know too much about the punishment or something like this is to try to get you altered or changed, or these entities that hold on to people here. And if you're not suffice, or if you're not worshiping them or only seeing them, or you talk publicly or exploit something, I mean, not exploit, because exploit is something like done behind somebody's back against them and you showing other people, but expose, okay? You know, it's like, that's why I like the I change if not, because somebody's thinking like, well, this particular person, this might not even, you know, now we got false lords, false prophets, false everything. And somebody think they're going to use their false power to say the sex was good with you, or, you know, something like this. And this person, now they want to ruin you or make you go through some type of transformation or become a boy or something like this, or have you be with one of these covens of people that take people and snatch them up and then change their sex and claim them. However far you want to take that. And there's somebody that's behind the scenes that's like, I want that person, but I want them as a girl, or I want that person, but I want to see them as a boy. And they trying to act like this is some shit that God is talking about. Not the God in me. So lately I've been having a little bit of problem. I know it's not like, I don't know, the way my body work, I know that whatever these things is that somebody's trying to force on me, my body is not ready to take on. This is a level of somebody does not age, or they're not aging like other people. So somebody might want to claim you as like a forever younger, or like somebody that was changed or made to stay young forever. There's all, when they on earth, they always gonna look 25 or something like this, or a vampire or something like this, so that they can have dibs over you. But I was thinking, I'm like, ain't no man, I didn't work this hard to get where I am. And if you ain't pretty enough, or you ain't sexy enough, you can't protect yourself with some type of covering or law or bill or some kind of, what you call them, like a Megan's Law or something like this, to stop these people from trying to manipulate you even in your sleep, or having access to you or something like this. It's like, yeah, bitch, you bragging about not, it's not bragging. We're laying down information that it may be esoteric to these people, it may be something, but this is just the information that I'm getting. But I notice it's not nothing wrong with my bladder. I could feel it. I could see stuff inside my body, or if there's really issues, it will be calling my attention. Somebody is doing something here. Where it's almost like I could see pain. You remember Rowan on Mayfair Witches? She could see when she get mad or something like this, or whatever, she could see the blood vessels in somebody's body, something like this. I used to have something like that. Or I know when something is dangerous or something like this, I need to go to the hospital. And when something could be lagging or something, you know, somebody might be like, oh, you need to go because that usually means this. But I know whatever this is something that somebody could be trying to implement. Because not debilitating me, but it is something where it's like bruising or something, okay? This could be some kind of spell work talking about bruising, or I don't know, something like this, okay? They like it that the chosen ones, if we do talk about these things, it's supposed to make you look weak or make God look weak. So a lot of people may not talk about these things, but I'm talking about everything because that's just what I was sent here to do. So it could be somebody, you know, they even could have got this power off of your back by being with somebody that was connected to you. And somebody think that they can claim you, you know, or claim me as like a wife or something like this. But I read briefly about royals or people in certain positions in these particular weddings or these weddings through the Vatican. They're forever. They can't be broken. Things like this. But if people's doing fake weddings or if they was treasonous or something like this, I'm pretty sure you can. Or if somebody trying to kill you, I'm pretty sure you can. In this day and age, it's 2025, I think. So these are people that like jump the broom or tie ribbon, go to the woods and tie ribbons around their hands and make some kind of ritual, or they put people under mind control or under something like this, and then or under spell work or hypnosis, and then they come in your sleep realm and they try to adhere or attach to you or something. Here, I was also hearing something about star binding, so I don't know, like if there's somebody that is losing their star power and they want to bind to someone so that they can still have this, or this is something that was done to somebody throughout their life. I'm not sure. All right. So, Knight of Pentacles. And this is just what I thought. Somebody could have been, like I told y'all about that story earlier. Say even somebody was separated from their body or separated from their soul. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all later. A physical thing of movement could have happened in somebody's life, but this could also be representing somebody went through something traumatic or something happened and somebody's soul shifted or something like this. But we got the Knight of Pentacles here. Somebody is a knight energy. This reminds me of my person back when he used to cut the grass and, you know, take care of the lawn and take down the trampoline every year and do those little, you know, it wasn't a lot, but he used to do like little things, or he would never let the toilet be broken for 2 months, you know, things like this. So, this what I was just thinking, like somebody trying to get this person to come back in and do something. This person just a knight. I'm still looking at myself as an empress, or, you know, the Most High or something like this. But they could be trying to send this person in after some type of escapades or something. I don't know. But it's like, oh, this person is in the upright. You have to let this person back in. Or I got that song Wifey earlier. And it's like, no, it is just not that easy. I'm not one of these servant bitches or whatever this is. You understand? This could also be somebody saying, well, stop doing what you're doing or something. Or somebody trying to match you up or something like this with just tarot readers, like you just a reader or a seer, or I just probably about want to kill myself if I was on this earth just to cleave to some man and tell you about his personal thoughts online. As far as I done climbed up this hill. You understand what I'm saying? With source. That's funny. It's not being prideful. It's like, wait a minute. That's like, you know, you done went to college for 10 years and you done did all this stuff, and somebody trying to offer you what they offer somebody right off the street coming in to get this job. Or you done had all this experience, you done went to college all this time, you know, everybody in your field making $25 an hour or more. And you go somewhere and they like, oh, well, down here in the South or whatever, you know, you only make like $7 an hour for the same position. You've been in the North all this time, or you've been in the East or the West or whatever, and you making $25 an hour there doing the same thing. And now you move to this place and they want to only give you $10 an hour. You're going to say, well, hold on. I mean, we can't negotiate because back when I was over here, you know, I was making this much. Ain't nobody be like, oh my God, you're prideful. You're prideful for fight. What do you mean? You know, just take what I'm giving you. Like, you know, 9 times out of 10, if you knew how much you was making, and once somebody said that, you probably knew this wasn't a job for you in the first place. Okay? So, again, somebody is not, this person could be coming back. They could have had a high and got brought back down low, and they want you to stay down there with them because you're the most comfortable person down there. You know, they know that the women or men that they was dealing with when they was in the high life is not going to deal with them down here. I was also getting something about that Indian story about the 7 brothers and the sister or whatever, or 6 brothers and the 7 and one is a girl. That's not my story, okay? But somebody could be doing that, and they forced a girl to marry the brother that was like not gonna be having much and not doing nothing or something like this. And it's like, dude, hold on. This is like souls that been on the earth all this time, and you very abundant or something like this, and it's best for people to keep you dead or keep you stagnant or silent or off the radar or something like this, so a lot of other people could come up. And I said, nah. That's like Martin Luther King. This time I'm coming to get my checks. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking the fuck up the thing. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. Okay, so somebody could be coming back in or something. There could already be another woman that wants that position with this person. This could be somebody that's just supposed to be a tarot reader or a seer or something. It just ain't you, or it just ain't me. You could be in the point in your life where you didn't drop, you ain't never been fighting for nobody's attention or affection, not even your parents. You kind of just, like me, when I was younger, I knew my mom was, you know, being overly something with my sister, and she probably didn't even deserve to get that treatment, you know, spoiling her or whatever like this. And even though my mom and me had a sharp, abrupt, like, I'm not talking to you right now, something like this relationship, the ongoing relationship, I feel like, between my mom and my sister was more choppy. Okay, and she lived with her. She grew, you know, she was raised by her the whole time. I wasn't. Okay, and I think my mom and my brother, you know, they always had, you know, I couldn't really see nothing deeper, but that they was just cool with each other. A little bit of beef if he had to come back as an adult to live there, but you know, nothing crazy. But I was, as a child, I would assess people. I would assess people in their doings, and I would checkmate. I would check on my notes or my list. Okay, I see you do that. Oh, because you do that because of that or something. I would analyze people. And it's not that I'm understanding or understanding of it, but I can actually just like analyze the situation and see why somebody is doing something, and I can move on without feeling hurt about it. So that's why I was saying earlier about these people. I feel like there's a group of children and stuff like this. They could be, somebody could have watched these children in certain households. They didn't get enough attention, or these are children that got a couple spankings, or they got yelled at, and they try to act like their mom was like Godzilla or something. You know, or their dad, like everything you talk to your children, and everything they're trying to say is trying to act like you was so abusive and so this and so that, you know. It's kind of like right now, I was looking at something with my daughter, and it was a lady on there, and she was making a costume for her daughter or whatever like this, and doing some stuff for a big old birthday party. So I was thinking too, like, the reason why they try to deprive these people of finances, because a very artistic person that just pick something that they do and do it okay, or do it well, or enjoy doing it. Or if you're a shopper, or you somebody that, you know, it's not fun. It's not fun when you know that you got to limit yourself, or you struggling, or you can't buy this or whatever. You know, some people will break the bank or get a whole bunch of credit cards and stack them up, but you know how to still feeling good inside, even though you don't have all the things that you need, right? Now, nobody is saying, I'm okay, let me stress, and no, I want all my shit when it's supposed to be due. And a lot of it is past due. The point is, you know, nobody can be that creative, especially in this economy, if you're not getting finances coming in. So at this time, you know, God done amped up your creativity, but you don't have the money to fit that. Or something like this. You're supposed to be traveling, but you don't have the finance. So somebody knows that creativity comes with being able to be financially or other ways free. Mobile, you be able to use your hands and your feet and stuff like how you're supposed to be able to, you know. Okay? And again, no man or woman have the right to come clipping away at your body parts or anything like this, not in the United States, or not in America. Because they feel like, oh, you know how to write and you're not writing, I'm gonna do something to your hands or whatever, so like this, so you can't, to cripple you or something because you won't write. Why the fuck you so worried about what I'm doing? I know when I need to do what I need to do up in my life. But this could be, like I said, these people that be waiting to see if you got something great. God could be trying to tell me not to do nothing around you motherfuckers around here. Now that I see what's going around here. So, like, someone's like, so who is you? Hold on. All right. You know, I've not done even half of all the things that I would like to do in my life. But I'm taking a, I feel like this is a break for me. Nobody got the right to come hovering around here to see what I'm doing fascinating today. I might not do nothing for a whole year or 2 years or 3 years. It ain't none of your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? So somebody think that they got the right to say, oh, you're not using that right now, let me use that. It might be to the point where, bitch, you're not using. I got a couple bitches that want to have some babies. What? You want to use my womb? You want to borrow my womb so some bitches can have some babies? You making all that noise and stuff like this about people and doing something to your belly or putting stuff in there, motherfucker, because ain't nobody getting paid. There's nothing benefiting me, and this is something that could stress out my body or harm me, or somebody might get over the top with this shit and start doing something, harm me, and don't tell me about it, and I'm sitting here with some kind of ruptured spleen or ruptured body part or something like this. You know, this ain't no men or no foreigners or nobody outside of my body should be telling nobody and allowing nobody to touch my shit. I'm not one of them. If I came to this earth just to wake up enough to say, hey, hold the fuck on, I'm not your fucking pet. You can't go taking me to get neutered or rip out my fucking uterus or whatever this is. What the fuck wrong with you? These are things that I should be fully consciously aware, research, know about, think about for months and weeks and weeks. Even if the doctor say we think you should get, usually they don't say you have to get, you know, unless you got some kind of rupture or something happened, you know, while you have a baby or something like this. And nothing like that happened to me while I was having a baby, where somebody said you can't have children no more. Okay? But we're talking about on the level where it's like, you know, I know people, okay? Even one of my okay, we'll just say SS, because we used to call this person. I'm wondering if even back then, I'm even wondering that back then, because one of my places was having some problems with their stuff, and they was getting, the doctor was saying that they may have to get a hysterectomy, and I think she might have went in for this, but, or something with the uterus or something like this. But that's why I'm just still wondering too, like, was somebody holding on to my energy like that because they knew that, whether this is another person in the family, community, my person, whatever this is. And, you know, I'm not really trying to have no more, unless my life changed tremendously and I was sitting in it very comfortably, and I could assess, and something was going on where I would be this age thinking that I'm having a child. Or, you know, maybe people think if you shocked and you find out what people could have been doing with your womb and your children, and separate, you know, doing whatever they was doing. You know, you would just be desperate to have a kid, and just anything can start growing in your stomach. You're like, oh my God, I'm having a baby. Yes. You know, like, no, motherfucker, I need to know details. Don't play with me like that. So somebody's trying to do something against somebody's will, possibly. Also, there could be somebody that thought that they was going to come back to you after your childbearing days are over. Okay. And then they was going to be with you then, because they never wanted children in the first place. But they could have knocked a lot of people out the park that could have wanted to have, or it would have been good for you to breed with these people or have children. Okay. All right. Because I would think it would be treasonous enough if somebody was of a certain, they have a certain birthrights. We keep saying royal, but this could just be birthrights or something like this. That you have because of your genetics or who you are, what you are, or whatever the fuck this is. And, you find out that this was your job to do this, and to come to earth and create children or have spawn, and somebody actually, like, and you find out something like none of your, like, all your children was from what they call it, extramarital affairs or something like this. And because these people were in some type of cult or some type of secret society, if people knew that somebody was fraternizing with each other, they would get in trouble. So somebody just they create these babies with their work wives or somebody they work at a company or work with, and then they just pass them through their real wife, like, yeah, she's having a baby or whatever. And again, this could be like an old ass vampire or something like this, or somebody that's like hundreds of years old, and this is what they used to doing or something like this, but not over here. Cause almost like somebody's riding along with the, you know how it is if you channel or pick up energy, or you know how y'all see me a lot of times do like this, but you know how you get those little things that come, you know, with the wind, or they just come. And you like, like something might just hit you, and you like, I know this. I know somebody ain't talking about this. You know, you just be getting these little things. So I don't know. I just feel like somebody, but it's always just a little bit. You gotta add the rest. You get that little whiff or something, and then you like, oh, is somebody saying this? Or you might pull cards on it or something like this. It's not ever like clear, or the whole sentence, or the whole description, or the whole explanation or something. Somebody wants you to deal with somebody or entity and be okay with that. That's just like, you know, I don't like shit like that, y'all. I don't play. I do not play. You can't play with me. Don't play with me. And that's what I said. In this season, what I earned, these people was just replacing people whenever they want to, getting mad, killing their mates, and repopulating them and stuff like this. It's like, wait a minute, y'all gave me something, right? It don't even work no more like that. I need a new one. If I'm always supposed to have a CNI dog or something with me, like that 5 Pentacles in that dog, this one ain't working right. I don't want the old, I don't want you to patch that shit up. There's enough money or value or something that been created off my name or in my estate or something, where you're not telling me that I can't get the one I want, or the new one, or whatever this is. So it's something like this. Somebody could have been a third party with another 2 people here. These could be all Tauruses. Or Aries and a Taurus, and 2 Tauruses. Somebody could have even brought their clone or their brother out, like, and was in a threesome with somebody, but with you, they didn't do that, okay? Maybe because they know you're not down for it, or it's against. These are people that know more about your culture, or your so-called culture, or your makeup or something, or your traditions than you do. They're sitting there allowing you to have access to the little bit of information that you know about your tradition. Or like when somebody runs something across you, be like, we don't do shit like that over here. I just don't do that. So that must be. But somebody knows what you're supposed, what your path look like, things like this. You just didn't get it. All right. So this is some kind of betrayal of the family too, for letting a male or a female know about these things. And then that could be what they're calling spell work too. It's just the advantage of somebody knowing something that you don't know. They can even start taking your life journey or whatever and start walking it their own self and seem like they're getting somewhere with it, while you've wasted all this time and you needed it during those years. All these things that you can't go back and turn back the hands of time possibly here. And this could be why then when people get so far out of this and you feel detached and you just feel like you wandering on the earth, then they want you to come to some entity or demon or something and try to make a deal with them to get you back, you know, to where you supposed to, like, and I just ain't falling for none. I just ain't going for none of it. Yeah. Yeah, so we got the 2 of Cups here with this alcoholic couple that's in reverse. And somebody is acting like they in reverse, they fired, they can't come back, don't worry about those 2 no more. But this is false judgment here. And again, something is not about your weight. Somebody could also be trying to make you wait. These could be like PETA or some people that, you know, care about animals or something like this. That could go in many different ways too. But these people could be in reverse, okay? They could have wanted you to wait for something or try to punish you or try to, you know, put some lock up your life to try to make you stuck. You know how if you have a farm or something. Oh shoot, what was I hearing earlier? And then they feel like animals should be running free or something like this. But you had horses and you kept in a stall. So somebody is trying to stall your life because you had animals in a stall or something. That'd be like one time when my children was real little, I was scared to clip their nails because with one of the kids, I was using the tiny little baby nail clippers and I ended up clipping their nail and I clipped a little piece of skin and I'm like, oh my God. And it scared me so much. I never liked to clip I just like them to break their nails off or let it break off by itself. Cause I never wanted to use another baby clipper ever again when that shit happened. It was just a little snip, but I was just like, oh, and I just never wanted to use nail clippers on the babies again. I used to always have a problem too. I didn't really like to use Q-tips. I think I don't really like to use them on me either. You know, it's like little stuff like that, okay? But yeah, somebody try to make you wait for something. And like I said, these could be the mothers of some of these children that these women or these transgender men that look like women bred with you while they were underneath the something of your mate or an underground group or a hidden group or something like this. They could be acting like they're your children or whatever like this, but these are really other women here that feel like because these people know more about how the world works or the back ends work or more about you because they was watchers or these the eyes or something like this. And somebody purposely left you out the loop or left you out of power for a long time. They feel like they the boss. All right. And they want to give everything that belonged to me from my person, which was something probably official or it was seemingly supposed to be official. They want to give it to all their children and then also leave my children. If there was a couple of children that was actually created of me and this man, but the family or this organization thought that they was too good for the children to be raised with me, those children may not be getting what they're supposed to be getting out of a situation. But I do feel like this is an uprising of some children. Somebody lied to a whole bunch of children as to how they could have broken files. These are people that it's something that's reckless and very out of control. It's very immature. It's not set up right. It's not functioning properly. It's not professional. So say somebody took like eggs from women all over the world and was creating them in a lab and they would let them see what their mother looked like. This is the mother beast that you came from. You know, look at her or whatever. And look what life I give you and look at what this bitch is doing or something. You know, while they siphoning your shit and trying to feed the mothers and feed these other people and everything off of all just your one little energy. And these could be children. I don't know why I'm picking up on something like this. This don't even have to be in this country. It could be in another country. But the children would have to be connected to America some way for me to pick up on this. You know. And they all have this sob story. Like, yeah, you know, my grandma raised me. And she said my mama didn't want, but these children don't know that those ain't your fucking grandparents. Those ain't nothing. These people could have created you in the lab. They gave you the sad story. You sat with this story all this time. Or like I said, these children, they'll be like, yeah, my mom, and she used to spank me, and I used to get these whoopings because I didn't clean up and stuff like this. You know, and you could hear it in their voice. You know, for me, it's like, you know, kind of entertaining, or it's just like, yeah, I remember, or when I used to get, if I got a spanking, and I'd be like, yeah, you just mad because that shit that you would, yeah, because you was just talking about Lisa and them at work, and you just mad at them. You want to take this shit over the top that I did at school, you know what I'm saying, to try to go in on me and get your fucking anger out, you know what I'm saying? This is the kind of mind I had as a child. I might not say it out my mouth, but I was thinking it, all right? So, these are people like that. Okay, like they vibe or their collective something is about some amped up or pepped up abuse that they swear that they, you know, had the worst parents and they had the worst experience growing up in the world. Okay, this is why again, we got this right here with the Two of Cups with these two alcoholics. Oh, this is like somebody like, yeah, because my mom used to do like this or whatever when we was little. You know, she didn't let us go outside. All our friends would still be out there until 8 o'clock. And she told us we had to be in at 4. And that shit was just weird. Anybody else in here? Did your mama? No, we were still out until the night, like until the lights came out. Or we could be out as long as we was in front of the house or something like this. No, that bitch used to make us come in at 4 o'clock. And we could just hear all the other kids outside the window. And I used to be so mad. And they never let... I'm telling you, it's a group of people that form some kind of alliance off of shit like this. That they should have been the fuck got over. Because ain't nobody never told you. They say, well, I didn't ask to be born in this. It's your response. Yeah, and nobody asked for over judgmental children that probably was disgruntled or probably did have some kind of issues that don't have nothing to do with the mom or the dad in the raising and the upbringing of them. But if somebody presented something to them like some money, if you go to court and say this about your mom, boom. Like this would be like some Gypsy Rose type shit. If you go, we will give you this much money or whatever, and this will change your life. You know, we saw that footage of you when you was little and your mom used to have you go to school with those clothes on, or you needed new shoes. You wanted like 6 pairs of shoes, but y'all only had 2, you know, something like this. People that's very vulnerable or something that ain't gonna say, well, you know, or you know about this day and age, right? It might be some people with old souls here that still don't play about their parents. But these days, you know, these children be plotting on their parents, don't even know why, or under mind control, or they didn't join something and they didn't know all the little details or something. It's like these societies trying to get to your children. They skipped a group of us because of the way that our mind thinks. They needed to go straight from the elders, straight to the children. Because we are, whatever they doing trying to block us out, we are the gap, or we are the something that could sew the shit back up together again. But most of they're not going to wait until your children want to be a star. They already just went in at a young age and compromised them some kind of way, it seemed like. So, like I said, these would be people that would be overly exaggerating spankings, or I was always in trouble, my mom was always mad, or my dad was always drunk or something. Because... Alright, so they about to lock the door. And I don't have my keys with the house. We can finish this up when I get to the house. We'll finish this when I get to the house.